What's up everyone, welcome back to another live stream. How's everyone doing? 19th of December, basically the end of the year, and what a week we have had so far. It was expected, right? After so long within a range, we finally had some moves or some volatility in the market. We saw the dollar, we saw the euro, we saw the US indices moving to the downside. We saw pound going crazy today, another big leg down on the across the pound pairs after the Bank of England interest rate decision. We also had a move on the yen pairs. So there was plenty of volatility, which was quite interesting. And that's it. Tomorrow is the last day, and we're going to have more news and more catalysts that can affect the market. We're going to have the core PCE in the US. So that's basically the last one, and then after that is, well, is Christmas period and then New Year. So basically 2024 is basically done. But let's analyze the market just for the last trading day in here. So if you are new, please subscribe to the channel and like the video as well. Let me know in the comments as well what kind of setups you are looking for. Basically, we are going to try to identify good trades for tomorrow, or levels that you can look for, right? And a lot has happened, right? There are new zones, new levels being broken, and which is quite interesting. Before that, let's just talk a little bit about the news, because yesterday we didn't stream, and yesterday we had the FOMC meeting, right, with the projections from the Fed, which basically what I mentioned as well was that the market was not really looking for the rate from yesterday. That was basically priced in. What the market was paying attention to was more for what actually is going to happen in 1 year from now, on the 10th of December in 2025, which is basically the market asking the question, how many rate cuts is the Fed going to do in 2025? Right, and as you can see at this point, the odds are, and of course these odds can change, and they sometimes change even 2 weeks before the meeting, so imagine 1 year in advance. But basically at this point you are looking at only 1 or 2 rate cuts until the end of 2025, or at least in 2025, which is basically where we had that scenario of a rate cut as an hawkish sign from the Fed. And that's why the market reacted like it reacted. Like, that's why we had around maybe minus 3.5% yesterday on Nasdaq. It was a complete sell-off in the market. Even crypto also moved to downside, dollar moving upwards, gold as well kind of moved to downside. So basically that's what we had. He's happy. Pedro is kind of satisfied with the rates where they are and the trajectory of the inflation. He thinks that they can get to the target of the 2% without the need to cut rates further, or at least to go into a completely slow path of rate cuts. The unemployment is also at 4.2%, if not mistaken, which is still quite steady, quite low. So he's happy with that as well. And the economy as well, in general. Even today we had the GDP at 3.1%, so it was even better than anticipated, the final GDP from Q3. So he's happy with everything that is going on in terms of the data from the US, and the market. Of course, the market always likes to see even better conditions. In this case, a further rate cut, but or a quicker rate cut in the future. But that didn't really was the message from the Fed, and we had a complete sell-off, right? A complete sell-off. So that was the Fed yesterday. Today we had Bank of Japan, which remained the same, and the question now is, when is it going to have, or when are you going to see a new rate hike in the Bank of Japan? That's basically the trajectory that they are going to. It's basically the opposite from the other central bankers. I think the governor Ueda from the Bank of Japan, I think he mentioned that he's waiting actually for Trump to be in charge again after the inauguration date on the 21st of January. So he's actually waiting to see what kind of measures Trump is going to apply as well. But most likely we're going to start seeing, if not the rate cut straight away in the first meeting of 2025, then in the early stages of 2025. All right, most likely that's what you're going to see. Again, dollar yen is again really close to 155, 56, something like that. So that's usually levels where we start looking for a potential intervention from the Bank of Japan. So we're going to keep track on that one as well, and something that we can play most likely next year. Then we had the Bank of England, which was as expected 4.75. The big change was that there was actually another voter that was looking to rate cuts. All right, initially the vote was to be 2.7, 2.36, so it was another one, but it was a complete sell-off on the pounds pairs. There was actually kind of good opportunities. Pound card was actually a great one in there. Even pound house as well, and euro pound from the lows. And that's basically what I had. And then again, tomorrow we're going to have retail sales in the UK, and then retail sales in Canada and core PC. Let me know, guys, if you actually pay attention to the news as well, if that's something that you are looking, and what kind of levels you are trying to trade tomorrow. So let me know in the comments as well what you are looking for. Let's analyze the market together. So dollar index, like this for me is not a surprise. All right, it's not a surprise if you actually have been watching the stream since the moment that this high was broken. All right, since the moment that dollar index actually managed to break out this structure to the upside, inclusive at that high, I was still bullish in the bigger picture. Okay, I was still expecting dollar index to continue to push higher, and in this case to potentially start getting closer to this 109, something like that, right, to eventually fill this range. And therefore that's not a surprise for me that price eventually move upwards. We also mentioned the fact that this low, it kind of reacted from, we were looking for something like this, right? This was basically the last structure that pushed price down. So usually that's kind of a good level for price to bounce from, eventually to continue. Another typical setup when you have kind of such an important area that price breaks through, which is basically this level, like price kind of range for a long time, or this level hold price down for a long period of time. All right, and when you have one of those, which maybe now basically that's the separation, this is the middle range between this level and these highs. Right, so we have this highs, these lows, and this is basically the mid range in here. Consider this one as well. So when usually we do have that break into here, the way price moves is not exactly just as a continuation. That's actually one of the moments that you can expect some retracement or some bouncing here in the market. And usually price goes and targets a low. So usually price actually is going to go below the zone that actually make that push higher. In this case it was somewhere around here. Maybe there's some other levels in here on the left side where you could look for. But that's basically what the dollar index did. No surprise whatsoever. In this case, we actually mentioned about that was the reaction in here with the NFP. I even have this rectangle in here, something that I didn't really pay much attention to. But in the moment when price created this level, I actually had that zone. It was left behind. This was never reacted from it, and apparently that was the level where dollar index reacted in here. As a consequence, on the other side, we have euro dollar pushing lower. Like euro dollar hasn't really managed to break the respective low created in here, but it's really close in there. Another question is what's going to happen. Like where is the next level in here on dollar index that you can look for? All right, and yes, overall, eventually, I do believe that dollar index may want to go. Actually, I can maybe just push this line in here just to see exactly where dollar index is. Yeah, I could see eventually going at least above now already this week, and then going even a little bit higher. All right, you may go into the lower time frame to try to see if there's anything or not in there. Hopefully, I have enough history. I may not. Yeah, I don't think I have enough history in here. Yeah, that's way too far away. Yeah, it's back in 2022. I definitely don't have enough history on in here. So yeah, eventually, again, since I don't really have enough history to see what's going on within this daily candle, this bearish daily candle that you can see in here, there's maybe something in there, some, maybe not. The reality is that most likely price wants to eventually get into some other area in here. We need to also pay attention if there's anything in here on the left side, maybe previous level support resistance or supply demand zone that maybe can still hold price to the downside. Otherwise, eventually I could see dollar index moving towards that direction. Now, is it going to just move in a straight line? Is price eventually coming to retrace in here? Definitely it can. Okay, it doesn't really mean that price is just going to now kind of break and go all the way. It can definitely bounce, it can kind of even come back, but eventually that it's going to be a little bit of the zone or target that we're going to be looking for on the dollar index. There's definitely still potential retracement that can have, definitely can even retest this previous level as well. That was the move during the FOMC. So that's something to pay attention in here. Are you going to have even a deeper retracement? You kind of had a little bit of a push down, but price just bounced from and continue to push higher in here. So yeah, maybe can compress a little bit, slow down, but at this point the buyers are still in control, so that's something to bear in mind in here. All right, so that's something to keep in mind and to be aware of. So be careful with the sales until we actually see a proper kind of break of structure. We didn't manage now to break in here, but basically price is respecting now this level, so there's not exactly any goof down in there. Yeah, so we'll see. Let it evolve a little bit more, ready to go higher a little bit more before potentially looking for some kind of sales in there. Like, there's been a long time since we actually had a typical FOMC like this. Looking at US indices, right? So this is something that you can't pay attention to. It was beautiful, right? It was beautiful. The move, if you guys recall as well, I had exactly that level in here. It was annoying for me, just because the price feed of the charts that I actually trade from, price never reacted from the same level that I have in here on this data feed on the trading view. Unfortunately, price was slightly lower, never really got to this level. It was kind of somewhere underneath that, which means that I never really managed to get the entry that I was looking for, which was somewhere around this level. The price action, it was perfect. We talked about that break of a low already from the structure in here. Right, there was already a break of a low, price retested one time, and it left that supply that we talked about as well. It kind of got close to it, created all the structure, got close to it, never reacted from it, and then in here it created even a double top. This is great. This is actually quite great. And then price eventually fake out level, and the rest is history. The rest is just to move to downside all the way to fill this compression. Basically, price had this compression here. All right, so all this zone in here, and basically price filled in a single move. Something that it took from the 19th of November until basically, basically took 3 weeks to make out this move to the upside. It just took 3 hours to do the opposite. Incredible. Like, that's the power of compression in here. It's a great example of what you can look for. Now, price did respect now this low, eventually could even aim to go a little bit more to the downside in here. Overall, the price action around this level, it was perfect, but now we actually create a really strong range in here, kind of a strong level of resistance at around this level, which means that eventually price could even fake out all these highs in here. But for now, today was actually kind of an important day. Usually, if this is actually kind of a move that usually is going to sustain to the downside, if the sellers are actually or want to actually be in control of this, usually we should see a second day of a move of price continue to push lower. Or at least if not in the second one, at least tomorrow it should continue. It should actually manage to break some structure to actually start seeing more bearishness in the market. Otherwise, if price by any chance just rejects completely and just goes up again, kind of retest the highs, that's it's not as bearish then as it could have been if price actually ends up breaking new structure, kind of retesting its level, and even if it managed to break below this low as well. So that is definitely something to pay attention. At this point, I'm not really sure what I'm going to be looking for. I don't like to trade these moves, so I'm not going to be participating on that. Not interested whatsoever in here. I need to see price now moving a little bit more and kind of creating new structure. I like to trade those highs, and at this point I need to wait and see what to expect next. Nasdaq was actually quite good as well. This was another one that on the price data feed that I actually trade, price never really got to this extreme. Price just was below that. I think it reacted actually from this level, which was okay. Something in here which initially actually reacted from there, but never really got to the extreme, and that was actually what I was looking for. It is what it is. And then a great push down, right? Slightly different the price action on Nasdaq from the S&P, from what you were looking for, but it's actually a really great price action as well, because we do have this range in the middle where price kind of manipulates a little bit, right, and then kind of goes a little bit into that extreme that was still fresh, and that's great, because many people start looking for sales just somewhere around this level, especially after this low is broken as well. But that's a great move that we had in here on Nasdaq. And then again, just basically filling out the space. We already were aware of this level. This was kind of broken in here, so eventually just breaks completely. And look at where it went. Like, it was all the way, all the way to take out this into this level. And can't even go lower, to be honest, from here. Yeah, it can even perhaps go lower. But now it's the same story as the S&P. I'm curious to see if they're going to have eventually a second follow through and kind of breaking new lows in here. And opposite to the S&P that you have a structure straight away underneath. On the Nasdaq, don't really see anything. If price actually starts moving lower and lower, it can even go closer to this level and perhaps even retesting all the way until here. That would mean that we would have perhaps around what would that be? 8%. At this point, it's already kind of a 4% from the highs, almost 5%. Yeah, perhaps it could go all the way through. I'm just curious to see how price may react from this level. Otherwise, price may just go all the way through. Otherwise, let me know, guys, what you're looking, or if you tried the US indices, what is your take and what is your game plan for tomorrow in here. And if you think that this is not top yet, then maybe price still wants to continue to push higher. But reaction yesterday from the market was actually quite negative from the Fed meeting in here. Yeah, typical moves that we can eventually anticipate in here is to create some kind of range as we are having right now, right? So create some kind of structure in here. Potentially can even go down one more time, kind of create a bit, something like that, can go down and then eventually just target something in here and push lower again without the need, potentially without the need to come here, right? So something in here could eventually play out. That's something to bear in mind in here. All right. Yeah, if that's happening, if price actually creates some kind of range in here and starts breaking lows, then that makes it even more bearish, to be honest. The Dow, what a move, right? So we were looking a little bit for a reaction from this level. We did have that reaction, but then price just completely sold off. No surprise with that, to be honest, because this low in here was not really reacting from anything, and overall the range that we were looking for eventually, it will be more into this structure in there. So that's where I'm going to be curious to see how the Dow is going to react to. If you look at the daily time frame, it's just incredible, like how many consecutive days we have of bearishness in here, and all of a sudden a big move. So I'm curious to see how the Dow is going to react from this level. We have kind of these left shoulders in here as well. So I'm going to be looking at this potential demand zone on the Dow, and from here we may have a little bit of a reaction to some bullishness, something that we haven't seen for quite a while. Okay, so since the beginning of December, basically for not 20 days yet, for 15 days, 11 days, yeah, around 15 days, 2 weeks of just price pushing to the downside, and this is basically the level that I'm going to be looking to see some kind of reaction. Now it would be nice to see price kind of slowing down a little bit, compressing, trying to go higher again, and then eventually you could try to aim to go a little bit higher. Now, of course, we do have this previous structure here that maybe price can kind of react from a little bit, but that will be something that I'll be more of looking for in here on the Dow. Yeah, we'll just delete this one. Yeah, let's just draw one of those marks in here where I'm going to be looking for it. The DAX also just continue. Unfortunately, never really got closer to that zone that I was looking for. All right, again, the price action here, we kind of talked about it as well. There is already the break of this low in here. We talked about the compression, talked about the fake out of this level, talked about the reaction here, but I saw kind of a new supply that was kind of created in there, and price could have gone or could have done something like that, which can still happen in the future. Definitely, I'm still going to be even looking for a potential sell opportunity whenever price comes back into this structure in there. 100%, we just broke new low, so as long as price doesn't kind of really fill out this range straight away, I'm going to be looking for potential sales in there, of course, depending on how price out actually approaches the level. And now kind of one of the targets to look for is basically the retest of this structure in here. Price can even retest first this one in here, potentially kind of react from here and just go. Okay, we have this new structure that we can potentially look for, so that's another one that we can anticipate for more potential sales opportunities after this range. So yeah, it looks a bit bearish. There's a few levels in here that price can still react from and push down, so that's something to pay attention in here. Great. All right, moving along, we have crypto, right? And there you go, right? So Bitcoin also great move, good reaction from this level. The price action in there as well, it was great. Start going, break below it, retest and push to the downside again. Trend line in here, basically price to retest this level, being aware that maybe price already broke that low, so that could even lead eventually into below 90. But at this point, 90 has been kind of a strong level of support, so not really looking for price to just completely break through into that. And you have this zone as well in here, right? So the initial range, definitely it will be something in here, right? That's basically the initial level in here to look for. Continues to be a bit more bearish, so we'll see how price is going to react. We can continue to have that line. I'm not really sure why I deleted it, but you can continue to have that line at around at around 100k. because that looks like that's going to continue to be an important. Is this on the high or on the? Yeah. So that's going to continue to be a potential zone of support resistance anytime price goes through that level. Yeah, so we'll see what's going to happen on Bitcoin as well, but more bearishness even after yesterday as well, kind of reacting negatively to the news. Yeah, we'll see, but it doesn't really look that strong in here. And I continue with my own bias of potential price actually taking out this in here as making anyone that is quite bullish is a little bit scared for a potential price breaking even or going further down. And that's maybe one of the opportunities to kind of buy again. Ethereum as well, really good move. Pick out those highs in here that we talked about since March, right? So it kind of created a small fake out into a new all-time high, a new high for the year, and then after that just completely pushed down. And we are looking for Ethereum to get a little bit closer to this level. This level in here still hold a little bit, but this was already a break of a low. Eventually that will be weaker, and yeah, price may bounce a little bit from here, but to be honest, I'm looking for price to get into more of this level in here. Okay, so that's more of what I'm looking for in here on Ethereum, and that's basically it for crypto. Looking at the currency indices, we are looking at euro index, right? So far all the levels that you are looking for, they've been respected, right? So we marked this level in here as a potential level of resistance. Also we had that previous low in here and plus the supply level, so we're looking for some reaction. Price reacted from it quite nicely yesterday. Also with the news after the or during the FOMC, kind of there was a big sell-off in there with the bullishness on the dollar, and price still respected this demand zone. Basically it went just below that level but respected the demand zone, and it continues to be within this range. Now euro dollar is already reacting from that low. All right, euro dollar is already reacting from here. Dollar index even already managed to break this one, which is the opposite, was the high, but euro index now is still within this range, right? So that's basically what we have at this point, and we'll see which direction eventually is going to go towards to. And then you had the yen, like the beautiful yen index. We talked about this level in here, so that was a great zone. Right, we talked exactly about this level. We saw that reaction, and that was a potential long opportunity that happened during this week, and we talked about that as well. But this looked like just a level for price to kind of retrace a little bit before a continuation. This didn't look like it was a zone to create the bottom, just a low. And this was a perfect level to look for that continuation, because price just literally created all this structure. This level was quite important. It was the level that actually managed to break all these lows. We actually had this one as well. So it was great. Price kind of started to create double tops in there. If you start paying attention to price action in here, break lows, so start to show some weakness. Like many people start thinking about going short after this low is broken, and then because we had a double top in there, with ignoring completely this level. Like we actually mentioned that part during the stream yesterday. Yeah, so that was exactly the PI. Then we have that break, and then the continuation. Like today we had Bank of Japan as well, so that's exactly what happened with the move in here. Like initially the move, and then most likely it was the press conference. Again, everything happened overnight, so it was not exactly a valid setup to trade because I was sleeping, but the price action here, everything was perfect, and price is filling out the range, and I'm looking to see how price may react from here, to be honest. So it's getting really close to this demand zone. It's one of the last levels in here at the lows that potentially can still hold price, even though there's maybe even this one underneath that, which is nice, to be honest. There's maybe still this one in there. But yeah, at this point, I was looking to see how price eventually could react from here. Yeah, that's a nice move, a nice level to look for. I like that price is starting to slow down. It hasn't really reacted from the level that I mentioned, just quite close to it, and start breaking slightly new highs in here, but still then of course reacting from the next supply that we had. So that's nice to see, but this slowdown, it's nice. It's kind of compressing a little bit, showing a little bit of strength in here, which eventually could lead into potential some kind of a move like this, just even to react something in there. So that could be interesting. Again, it's a good level. Then you're going to look into the yen pairs as well to try to identify some potential opportunities in there. And that's exactly kind of what you're going to be doing right now. Yeah, so Let me know, guys, what you guys are looking for as well. So looking now at the individual currency pairs. All right, so let's jump into euro dollar, which finally also make this move away from this range where we have been trading for quite a few days for now, right? So we're looking, in my opinion, this low was a break to the downside and a continuation with respect to those highs. So bigger picture, I was bearish. All right, I've been bearish still here in the bigger picture, and even price can go or can go a little bit closer to that level, for example, or it can even continue further down. All right, it can definitely continue further down. It can even go into that level. Basically, this level equals at 109 on dollar index. Okay, basically, if the dollar index is eventually going to go towards that 109, basically euro dollar eventually is going to go towards this level, which is basically 1 point is below 101 in there. But at this point, it still respected this level. Basically, there was still this demand zone left behind in here. Kind of that was the zone created yesterday, and we are within these lows. I don't really like them. I think this can actually be quite interesting for price to have some kind of support in here, attract people into buying at close to this low, and then finally having kind of that fake out potentially to move to the upside. So that's definitely a move that I'm going to be waiting for. I'm not going to be getting into this long. I'm going to stay patient. If price by any chance goes from here, it goes from here. I'm going to be waiting for price to actually fake out this level at this point. So if you're looking, price potential can go a bit more deeper into something here. So price reacted from this line. Maybe there's this demand zone in there where eventually price can go towards to. I'm not really sure about this one, to be honest. I think eventually price could even take everything in here. I may have these left shoulders in here, so okay, let's keep an eye on potentially price reacting close. So this level below this low, but for now maybe there's still something in there. Otherwise, price will just go take everything in here and start eventually looking for something else. But yeah, as long as price continues perhaps to respect this level a little bit more, maybe that actually can start being a potential bullish sign in here. It's just something to keep an eye on, of course. And then the pound, right? What a move. What a move that we had, right? So, yeah. Perfect reaction from here. Actually, I think I was looking slightly higher, which never happened. In here, I was looking for that fake out of this level. Never happened. Push down, kind of come back in here, and then another push downside. This was already a break of structure to the downside, so we also looked at that one as well. This was a kind of a nice reaction from that level, or even you could even gone there. And now basically price breaking everything and reacting really close to the lows as at this point. So yeah, potentially it will just continue. Just careful with any reversals in here. Just let price continue to show more weakness before even trying to get long, which eventually can even go below that low and getting a little bit more even deeper into the structure as well, or even take that one and then start looking into something in there. But perhaps there's still something in here that the pound dollar could react from, which means below this current low in here. Yeah, so that's something to keep an eye on. What a move. Then you have euro pound, right? Euro pound, again, I hate these candles. I just hate them. Price is still reacting from that level, so it's a good zone. It's a perfect level actually where price ended up reacting from, and then price just turned from here. I was not really looking for any trade in here, but reaction is quite good. Price went up, down, kind of continue. It's a nice level where if by any chance I was long, I would have taken some profits in there. But the possibility is that price can continue. Like we had that initial move up, price kind of broke into there, but this level, in my opinion, it never really reached its target. Which the targets can be a little bit more into that zone. So eventually, I would like to see this euro pound continue to push higher, and eventually can even go even more. But from here, maybe price can have a little bit of a bounce and potentially can go from where it is. Yeah, so that's just something in the bigger picture to pay attention to in here. And then we have Aussie dollar, which was a complete sell-off as well. So basically breaking below that low and now getting into these lows in here. And if we continue, then we go even further down, somewhere in there on the left side. All right, so this is actually kind of a monthly level. Not sure how much further down I can go towards to. Okay, still have PA in here. It's already kind of broke. This one, this can be interesting. Yeah, this can be interesting. Definitely if we can get that above something in here can be quite nice to see. Of course, we may have something in there. And yeah, price can eventually go below that. Maybe have some kind of reaction from here. We have these ones in here already reacted from. Yeah, maybe below this wall as well. There's maybe something in here. Yeah, that's just kind of a quick look into the Aussie. But for sure, we do have this level that we need to keep an eye on. Great. Yeah. So let's see in here on the Aussie dollar if this actually holds or not. Do have this level now to pay attention to, and then eventually price can. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Okay, we had this weakness. We initially start looking potentially for longs, but there was not exactly any break to the upside. We kind of then skipped all of it, and yeah, just curious out to see how price may react back into these lows as well, and if it's going to continue to respect that those lows on the left side. Yeah, so just wait and see at this point on the Aussie dollar. The remaining of the Aussie pairs, like we had Euro Aussie, what a move as well to the downside. In here, kind of reacted now from that supply level. We had all this structure in here, and then eventually price just moved to the downside. We had that initial break of the low in here, kind of that push and go. Price can still react from this level, and basically that's where it's reacting and push higher. So this move may not be finished just yet. We'll see. We did manage now to break below this low, so that's maybe an engulf down. Let's see if price kind of reacts a little bit from this level and push a bit lower. Now this is definitely breaking to this level. Price should respect that one. We do have many left shoulders in here as well, so we'll see if eventually this one wants to continue to go higher or not. Yeah, if the Aussie just continues, for example, the Aussie dollar just continues to push down, then this one eventually is going to continue to push higher. But if there's a little bit of a reaction from that low, maybe this one in here can see some bearishness. Yeah, just something to keep an eye on. Pound Aussie, it was much bearish today. Like, yeah, I was looking even a little bit higher, to be honest. Price then just turned, so really strong push down, and potentially can even go all the way until there. Something to keep an eye on. In here, now it's in the middle, so we'll see what's going to happen from this level. New Zealand, quite similar to the Aussie dollar. All right, so strong push downside, reacting now from this low. We're looking actually for that eventually in a bigger picture for price to kind of get closer and potentially even go into here. To be honest, sorry. So yeah, we do have a demand zone basically where price is reacting right now, but eventually could even go a little bit more to the downside. We may have already this reaction from here. Yeah, we'll see what's going to happen if price does break below that low. In here, basically price is still similar to the Aussie dollar, exactly reacting from that level, and we'll see how price may react from this lows. Again, the momentum to the downside is still quite strong. Yeah, we'll see. Price by any chance goes below that, then start looking even further into that level. Okay. All right, Aussie yen. What a move. What a move. Again, overnight with the yen with the Bank of Japan, what a push to the upside. Right, we had that confirmation. Basically price started to break this structure to the upside. It's just a full retracement, push down with the Fed, and then a complete reversal with the Bank of Japan. The demand zone was still fresh. I never really saw that low was reacting from the level. Price went below that level and now pushed, and now we'll see if maybe some reaction from here and another continuation higher or not from here. So that's one of the first yen pairs that we can start tracking and to see if there's more bullishness in here or not. Maybe price can actually retrace a little bit before continue and even go back into this level, for example. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what kind of move we are going to have in here now on the Aussie yen. But really nice move. Dollar yen continues to push higher, so we are actually 157.8. We're definitely approaching levels of potential intervention. Like that's kind of one of them. This was kind of another one that happened. Actually, it was during a Fed meeting as well. Basically, price is closing to that or really close to that zone. I could see eventually price maybe taking this high where price just got really close to it, and eventually getting closer to this level. But that's potentially something to bear in mind. Where price is reacting right now. Okay, so price is reacting from this supply level in there, and if it goes higher and somewhere closer to here, and the scale on this is terrible. 1 second. Yeah, maybe somewhere from here, price just want to kind of fake out that structure that high in here. Yeah, maybe could go, and then eventually can even continue, because a lot of this has been compressed already on the way down. Price kind of reacted from that level, so yeah, we'll see, because from here price actually managed to break out of this. It looks like that this level was kind of short and didn't really close to that level. Yeah, that's something to bear in mind in here on dollar yen. That's more of the level where I'm going to be looking for a potential short, so that price going a little bit more to the upside. Yeah, let's just draw another alert in here. Perfect. That's dollar yen. Euro yen. Yeah, I could see it going a little bit more to the upside. Euro yen is kind of losing momentum as well a little bit. So after the strong push up, this was a great reaction in here as well. The price kind of pushed down, respected, and then with the BOG kind of pushed higher. It's reacting from here. Yeah, not my favorite, to be honest. It could go eventually a little bit more to the upside, so that's one to keep an eye on. Yeah, this is kind of a good reaction, to be honest. We start having some walls being broken. Yeah, we kind of start having some walls in here being broken. Yeah, we'll see if we retest this out this level. But overall, in the bigger picture, I would like it to see going a little bit more to the upside, to be honest. That's more of what I would like to see going towards to. But yeah, so far, I love where it is. So. All right, we'll see. Maybe we can even have a new short from there. Bank of Japan, pound yen with the pound today kind of even more negative. I was looking for price to go again. It's kind of missing a little bit, so it really faked out this level. I was looking a bit higher, never really got there, and now kind of pushing down. Basically, that's what you may have. We actually have already a break of the structure. I was aware of also this double top that you have, which eventually could lead into a new fake out of the structure. But so far, this level is working. Is managing to push price down. Again, next level is going to be somewhere around here. Yeah, the price is just moving down in here. But whenever the yen index also reacts from the potential zone that I was looking for, that's something to keep an eye on. Like on the yen index was a bit more further down, which means that maybe these yen pairs could be just a little bit higher to find that good opportunity. And then you can look into the CAD pairs, right? So that was a strong push up. That's a perfect level as well on our CAD. And it was another one overnight. It was one of the last demand zones. Do I have 1 per hour? Yeah, we have literally this level. Right, that's a really great level on the daily time frame. We could create a decision point to finally manage to break everything in here. Yeah, yeah, that's exactly where price is reacting right now. It's a great zone. It was fresh. It was not actually almost the last zones in here within this highs that was still fresh, and we are having that reaction. And basically the first target, it was basically this demand zone that reached quite easily. And you'll see price by any chance holds and pushes higher, or it kind of breaks, and we'll see after that. But so far that's basically really what we have. There's maybe still some sell orders in here, but I would prefer to see maybe this demand zone being broken before aiming for new sales in here, as price kind of just literally close this initial space that was in there. Eurocard, that's a great move as well. So that actually started from yesterday. Yeah, it's a bit in the middle, to be honest. There's maybe some kind of demand zone in there that price never respected on the way down, so kind of respected in here. And basically, yeah, we are filling out this price. Basically, that's kind of what you're looking. It's another one that with the strong compression up, and then now price kind of moving to the opposite side with a clear target of kind of basically getting close to this and these levels again, kind of below this and these lows in here. So that's basically what we had. Yeah, then pound cards. This is actually the one. My pound card was literally approaching this important structure. Right, it was a clear high that was still fresh. Similar to dollar card, it was that clear supply level in there. Yeah, I don't think I have enough data. Yeah, I don't have. And price basically created the pattern that we like to see as for the reversal. We start creating some structure in here. We actually managed to break the lows, even though kind of respect this level, but it's definitely structure that starts to be broken to the downside. And then you have one last attempt of a fake out a bit more deeper into that level that we just talked about, and then price just literally crashed today, right? Literally crashed, and it just continues. Basically, it filled that initial range. Basically, it filled everything in here all the way into this demand zone. Which you can maybe start having a little bit of a reaction from here, with the potential to even go further down a bit more into this level, which means that we're going to potentially fake out this or take these walls as well in here. So that was a really great move. I really like the PI that we're having here, the breaks as well. Kind of we have initial, of course, a fake out in there, kind of the pattern. It looks like a quasi-mode that is working. I'll have a break of a low, but then eventually we go one last time, just fake out the level, and then a complete sell-off. So yeah, that's beautiful. You can study it if you want to get familiar with what I'm saying in here, with the price action that we see in there. It's a really good move. It's a really good move in there. So yeah, from now, yeah, be careful. Do you want to look for longs right now from this demand zone? I'll just wait to see. Even on the pound pairs, because this is literally kind of a move with the pound. We need to see a little bit of strength on the pound before anything else in here. All right. Dollar franc Swiss. That's an interesting one. So it's kind of approaching this level. I think eventually can go higher, to be honest, and even aim a little bit more to the upside. But for now, kind of finding a little bit of sell pressure as it continues to push higher. I like a little bit in this level of compression. Can maybe just retest from this demand zone and push higher again until eventually gets closer into that into those highs in there. Or it is perhaps it takes one of these in here. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I'm curious to see how price maybe actually even react from that level. We haven't really managed to close this one, so maybe we could even have a potential new sell point in there. The price is reacting from here. Can definitely still go higher. We'll see. Gold pushed down. Again, no surprise. We talked about this level. This was already an engulf to the downside in here, at least for me, which means that price eventually would continue to push a bit lower, and I'm looking for price to get actually closer to this level. So not even where it is right now, I don't think is going to be the final move. And you need to be aware that actually price from this high already managed to break this low as well, even though kind of it was just this reaction from the previous low support resistance. So overall we had potentially this move down, and we had also that engulf down in here. Then we start having price kind of slightly breaking a high and kind of breaking a new high again in there, but this is just kind of a reaction from this level. So that's something also that we could anticipate. So now price basically respecting this level, going further down and eventually going a bit more into this zone in here. That's a bit more where I would like to see this gold going towards to. On the other side, we may have a little bit of a break in here to the upside, which in this moment is just a fake out, which potentially could push price into that level. But for now, yes, I would like to see actually a little bit more of bearishness on gold and get a little bit closer into something in there. So that's one to pay attention to in here. Yeah, silver must be doing something similar. Yeah, silver finally we had this walls being broken, and then finally price breaking everything in here as well. Continue. This kind of sounds a bit more in the middle, but it's kind of, we have this structure that you can play with, and then eventually price push down, and yeah, you can continue to look for yeah, price to move a bit further down, to be honest. Yeah, nice move in here. And then we finished with oil, which just continues to be within this range in here. Good reaction again from that level. We haven't really managed to break just below that level. We may go now. We may continue to be within this range, right? So that's something to keep an eye on. You can trade it if you want. You can kind of look for those extremes. If price kind of comes back into this level again, maybe there's another long. As you can see, oil has been ranging from within this range for quite a long time. It's kind of steady. It doesn't affect anyone basically trading at around this level. The OPEC members look like they are happy with it. It's not expensive at this point as well, kind of a barrel around 66 to 70 something. It's okay. Doesn't really create any impact into the economy. Doesn't really going to increase the inflation, because if the price stays around this level. So that's kind of an agreement in here. So if you like to trade ranges, you can maybe continue to trade within this structure in here. Same thing with Brent as well. Yeah, it's basically the same thing in here. So yeah, that's basically what we have. Brent potential can go down. If it gets kind of closer to this level again, maybe we can find some longs. If price kind of starts going a little bit closer to this highs, or even that high in there as well, maybe we can start looking for shorts again. So yeah, that's basically what we have in here. And that's basically it. That's basically it in terms of the pre-market analysis for this year. I don't really think I'm not going to be doing this next week. I'm not going to be trading, so there's no point. Let me know, guys, what you're going to be doing next week. If you're going to be active, so you're going to do more journaling, planning for 2025. Let me know in the comments what you're going to be doing. Even for the weekly market analysis on Sundays that I usually do, I don't really think I'm going to be doing that neither. So yeah, we'll see. I'm going to plan for stuff to be added into the YouTube channel in 2025, maybe more content as well. And let me know what you'd like me to be creating, what type of content you'd like me to see making. Subscribe to the channel. Definitely that next year I'm finally going to get the 700 subs. I think I'm that close. So I think at least 3 subs I think I'm going to get next year, but the push is to go towards 1000 and then even more. So but yeah, first goal is 1000 subs. I'm going to be creating more content as well to do that. And yeah, thank you so much for everyone that has been watching. And if I don't really speak with you anymore, I wish you a happy holiday season, happy Christmas or Merry Christmas, and yeah, happy New Year as well. And yeah, a blessed 2025 and many green peeps as well. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. I'll see you, yeah, if not this year, next year for sure. Thank you very much, guys. Obrigado. Bom Natal e Feliz Ano Novo. Bye bye.